Hey, how are you? Now, full disclosure, I haven't decided how I feel about this movie. I have not. Now, when I left the theater, did I know? Yes, for the most part, I knew kind of in the general area of how I was feeling, if I liked it or didn't like it. What's getting me is 2 days later, maybe 3 days at tops, it showed up on my streaming service. This movie is not on streaming. I saw the poster on Disney Plus and freaked out because I thought it was there. It's just a sneak peek. It's like an extended trailer, 8 minutes. Didn't look at all of that. Disregard. So yeah, basically with the streaming service cost and then the movie cost, we're at about like $40 a ticket. I don't know if it was worth it. So let's speed run the Ready or Not first movie for those who either have not seen it or it's just been a while, you forgot. Alex, Grace, getting married. They get married, I do, past that. That's the boring part. Get into the meat of it. Since they are a board game family, everyone has to play a game. If you're marrying in, you have to play a game. She picks a card, the card is hide and seek. Simple, you would think. But hide and seek means we will hunt you to the death. She's playing versus all of the family. They're all in on it. People die, and they think that if she survives, they will explode. They will all die. Well, they don't think explode. They think we will all die. Our entire lineage will be no longer because we made a deal with the devil, but also his demon friend, Mr. LaBelle. She survives until dawn. They all explode. She lights their house on fire. This is where we pick up into. In the exact spot, if not 30 seconds later, from when the first one ended. We're outside, we're in our bloody wedding dress, the house, the McMansion is on fire, we're smoking a cigarette. She eventually passes out as the paramedic or EMT, whatever, is talking to her, and she wakes up in the hospital. But your girl is in handcuffs. And you know why? Because you are newly inheriting this wealth and you're covered in someone else's blood. You can't tell us what happened, and there are several dead bodies inside. I don't think they knew about the exploded bodies because how would you? But they found like the butler, like 5 different maids, different people who died, all the servants. And you're the only survivor. What happened, girl? Her sister walks in the door, her estranged sister. We find out that they are at odds. They're fighting the entire movie. Now, was it important to the plot? Some would say yes. I personally would say no. I didn't care, so you don't have to hear about it. Just know every single time they're alone, they're fighting. It's back and forth. I'll just give you the breakdown of it. They were in foster care. Grace is obviously she's older than Faith, her sister. She left to New York. Faith is upset. Faith moved to New York, didn't tell her. They've been at odds ever since. The end. We don't have to talk about it for 2 hours. One thing I did appreciate is it was a outlandish story. It's ridiculous for you to have to tell someone, oh, I married into a cult that worships the devil. But as she was telling her the story, she fully accepted it. She did not pull that cliche, oh, that could not be real. I don't believe you. Are you going crazy? It was none of that. It was, oh, okay. Well, jail for you then. And it was instantly understood that she's telling the truth. I loved that. We are transitioning. Now, we're watching the news. We're an old man. We're watching through his eyes. They turn the camera. It's an old man, Mr. Danforth. He's hooked up to hospital equipment, and it's in his own McMansion. It's another rich person. What is he watching on the news? Oh, his friends, the Ladomises. Their house is on fire. They may or may not be dead inside. They're being reported on because they're the wealthy elite. He pulls out his little phone, and texts, "The ball is in play. The bride survived." What is that? What does that mean? And he texts to 4 other people. We see it goes to England, it goes to Spain, it goes to China, and it goes to New Jersey. And we see the people as they like pick up their phone and see, oh snap, the ball's in play. We don't know what that means. Okay. His 2 kids walk in, Titus and Ursula. And he tells them what's going on and pulls off his ring, puts it on the table and says, this ring has to stay in our family. You know what to do. They both grab a pillow, smother him. They smother him to death. Is that what they had to do? Okay. But no time for that. Our girl, the main character, Grace, she's being wheeled, I'm guessing, to the police station because the police officer is rolling her down the hallway. The police officer, he's dead now. He's dead because a dagger was thrown at his neck, cut all that up, and he's bleeding on the floor. Who did that? It was the guy who got the text. He's from New Jersey. Now, mind you, I don't know anyone's name. If that's going to bug you, you might want to leave right now. Mr. New Jersey pulls up and says, I don't want to wait for the games. I want this seat now. And he starts hunting Grace and I guess Faith to some extent because they're together. But as they're walking out, who's walking in? The elevator doors open. Hello. What is his name? Dobby? Dobby? That is not that man's name. Elijah Wood. Dobby. It's Elijah Wood. He walks in and he has a gas mask on. They roll the canister of gas out. They fall asleep and get drugged. He doomed Mr. New Jersey, doomed his entire bloodline because he couldn't wait and he was impatient. Sucks. No time for that again. We're seeing the Danforths, the twins, as they're greeting their guests, the people who got the text messages, the 4 people, now the 3 people, because one is dead. They're greeting their guests. They're walking out of course, black SUVs. Grace and Faith, they wake up in Rhode Island at this huge resort that's owned by the Danforths. And we need some explanation. Tell me what's going on. There are 5 families and we control the world. And the high seat controls us. We're on a council. Now, since you survived and the Ladomises had the high seat, congrats, you're up in the running now. We're going to do another death match, another hide and seek round.
This part will be familiar. They will try to kill you.
Welcome to our home.
The other families, they can't kill each other. One person from the bloodline versus you and your sister. If they catch you, they get the high seat. If you survive, you get the high seat. If any of them die, the next in the bloodline will take over. Everyone's signing in blood. They all agree to this. Of course, the sisters don't, but they have no choice.
I'm not playing.
Okay. Prunella, kill the sister.
The Danforths cheated. Now, mind you, it's one person from each family. They have 2, and this is why they smothered their papa. Because they say, oh, our dad passed, so now that we're twins, we're on the same line of succession, we will be competing together. Cheaters? Cheaters much? We're competing for the high seat to control the world, so I guess I would cheat too. But no fear, because Mrs. China, she has a drone flying over to the sisters and says, hey, we don't have to do this. I found a clause. We can get around all this. Shot down. I don't know what you thought that was going to be, but the twin, Ursula, shot that down. Stop talking to them. We're in a hunt. Oh, I forgot to say, they can only use weapons that were around when their individual families made the deal with Mr. LaBelle. Cut to the first one who's after them. Mr. Spain shoots them, misses. It makes so much of a noise that everyone knows where they are and they start hiding. Faith makes some kind of distraction out of smoke, but as she's doing that, Mr. England comes in and they're like tussling, they're fussling, but Spain can't see. And he shoots, of course, it's an action movie, one of those gas chamber thing. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's this container that if you shoot it, an explosion happens. It's in every movie. He shoots that, the girls get away, but Mr. England is on the floor, kind of laid out. He thinks he killed him. And remember, I don't know if I said this, but in part of the rules, they cannot kill each other. Even if it's an accident, their bloodline will be screwed. So he's panicking. Then the guy wakes up. So it's fine. The next interaction is with the twins. Titus comes up behind them. They hit him with a tree branch. They get away. And then they go to the casino. Because remember, this is a resort. They're in a casino. They're fighting again. Surprise. The sisters are fighting. Miss China, she walks in. And she says, hey, chill out. I was trying to talk to you before. I don't want to kill you. If you marry my son or agree to marry my son, all of this is deaded. It's over. We get the high seat. You get to live. All you have to do is agree to that. I don't want to kill anybody. And Grace is not for it. Faith says, go ahead and agree. Agree. I'm tired of this running. This ain't for me. But Grace has said, well, what do I have to do? If I agree to marry him, what would I need to do? Well, you technically would have to sacrifice someone like we do every time, just the basic cult stuff, no, I'm not doing that. They start arguing until Spain walks in the door and he's trying to kill them. But Miss China, she's covering them with her body. She's being a shield because she knows he can't kill her. Grace, she's over it. This ain't for me. China has a knife. Well, a sword would be the better word. Maybe she has a sword. Grace starts using her arm to control China, stabs Spain. He's dead. And since your arm did it and you're the one holding it, you explode. Her son also explodes. Ooh, yikes. For Spain, now that the first in line is dead, the next in the bloodline comes in. Who is that? I actually do know her name. Her name is Francesca. And she just happens to be Alex's ex-girlfriend. So she's mad on a whole different level. The girls, they escape. But while they're escaping, who sees them? England. The lawyer handcuffed her and her sister together. So in an attempt to be more free, they find a piece of equipment that will be loud, but it'll take the handcuffs off of them. And it's like a saw. I don't know why there's a table saw at this resort, because it feels like they're in the basement where the laundry is. I don't know what you need a saw for, but I'm not rich. I don't own a hotel, so I don't know. Maybe that's part of it. Hears them and he comes up. But now that I got my hands free, oh yeah, we can tussle. We can tussle now. So they start beating this man behind. They get him on a conveyor belt that goes into an industrial size washer and then push sanitize. He's in there melting like a candle. But they don't let him die fully. Grace opens it up again, but for some reason, and the director must think we're stupid, because she pulls out his phone from his pocket. How? Now maybe rich people have different phone services, but me and my AT&T Apple, if I put that bad boy in a washing machine, industrial size washing machine, for no less than 5 minutes, I swear that he was doing rotations. It doesn't matter because the plot needed this. They're calling 911. Okay, we're getting somewhere. No, we're not. You thought we were. We're not, because you know who intercepted the call? Ursula, the twin. So she's pretending to be 911 operator. She intercepted the call. She said, I got all the calls coming from this land area, just in case she got her hand on the phone.
So, we knew it was your voice on the phone, fucking dumbass.
Yeah, idiot.
She got stabbed pretty deep in the shoulder. It was like a pipe or something, like stabbed into her. So they're trying to clear that up. They find some like ibuprofen for her to take. They're kind of dressing her wound of such, and they're fighting.
Oh shit, here we go again.
This time they fight so much that they separate. They decide to say, you know what, you got it. You got it. I'ma head out. Faith walks down the hallway. Grace is still there. And Grace comes into contact with Francesca, the ex. I don't think it's a flamethrower. I want to say it's a bazooka. R.I.P. my granny. They try to fight, but Grace, because she's scrappy, she found some pepper spray. So she's getting her in the eyes, but then Francesca also grabs it and gets her in the eyes. This was a funny part, because you see on the cameras that they're trying to tussle and fight with each other. They're swinging, not hitting nothing. They can't see anything. It's just blurry as heck for all. They're running into tables. They're doing more damage to themselves trying to fight because they can't see anything and their senses are all off. While that's happening, Faith says, you know what? That was rude. I shouldn't have left. We are being hunted for the death. Let me go back and find my sister. No, you thought? No, we're not death. Hunt. She gets intercepted by Titus, the twin. I didn't like him. This is a point away from the movie. Every single time this man is on screen, he has a different personality. He's seen as very cold, and then he is a psychopath. I think I wrote in my notes, like, who is this guy? They try to portray him as like a dummy, but then also we don't want the Danvers to have the power because he would ruin the world. I'm like, I didn't like him. He starts beating her behind. We end with Francesca and Grace. Hits her with a keyboard. She's knocked out. She's not dead, but she's knocked out. She goes to try to find her sister. It's too late. It's too late. They get on the speaker. Let's put it like this. They get on the speaker and say, hey, come to XYZ. We have your sister. If you're not here in 30 minutes, whatever the case was, she's dying. She finds some weapons. She starts shooting at people. She's going to the main house. We end up seeing Francesca again.
Back for round 2, bitch!
Yeah.
Shoots her like 2 times in the stomach and then walks by, shoots her in the head. She's busting down doors. You know what? I just realized I forgot something. You know how they killed Mr. England because they put him in that washer? His next of kin was someone who was supposed to step up. Instead of stepping up, he opted for his wife to do it.
Pussy.
He signed his rights to the family fortune away. Forgot to mention that. Eventually, she runs out of bullets. Oop. Uh-oh. She runs out of bullets and she hides herself in like a storage, a kitchen, something to where the door is a giant window. I can see you. And they have Faith right there saying, you better come out in 10-9-8-7-6 because we're going to shoot her. And she says, well, hold on. How about you marry me, Titus? I'll marry you. I'll get to live. You get the high seat. You know what? I do. I do agree to marry you. And his sister Ursula is looking stressed. That's why I said I don't know what his personality was supposed to be, because not 30 seconds ago, he was smacking her up. And then not 30 minutes ago, she was sunning him. So I don't know what their dynamic is, but she looks worried. We proceed to the ceremony. They kind of dress her up. They clean her up. Next thing we see her, she's in a 30-inch bust down. She's made up. Her new sister-in-law walks in and
How y'all doing?
no hard feelings, right? I was just doing what I was born to do. You know, I'm a victim too. Like, I just want to talk to my new sister-in-law. I need your help. We have to control Titus. He will ruin the world. You made a mistake, girlie. You didn't check your surroundings. You didn't close the door before you started talking, because who walked in? Titus. He says, oh, control me, huh? Is that what you mean? That's what you're trying to do? Puts her in a chokehold and then breaks her neck. This is twin sister. Breaks her neck and then looks over to Grace and says, there's no penalty for killing family. They're all giving eyes wide shut. If you've seen that movie, they have their cloaks on. It's about 30 people or so. They're doing this chant. They're saying this. They said this all throughout the movie. I will not be saying it. In their vows, I think I wrote this down. He says, do you take Grace in this life and the next onto the fires of hell? That's too far. What are you talking about? Immediately after, the lawyer is like, hey, congrats, you have the high seat. You're married to blah, blah, blah. Grace, juke, 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 juke. Stabs up Titus. He's dead. He's on the ground and she's putting more holes in him than Swiss cheese. She's going out and then she says, there's no penalty for killing family. As the high seat, I'm relinquishing the high seat and me and my sister are getting out of here. The lawyer does say, but he says whoever is wearing the ring at dawn is the high seat. How many minutes do we have until dawn? 3. This dungeon room that they're in, there's a giant throne behind them that we kind of see an apparition of Mr. LaBelle on there. There is a pit that opened up within the floor, and I thought Satan himself was going to walk up from the depths of hell. But it opens up, and there are dead bodies down there, dead carcasses down there, and horns. They had a goat tied up, which was supposed to be a sacrifice part. He was probably going to the pit. So now, since you only have 3 minutes, Grace says, okay. She pulls off the ring, throws it in the pit, which is about 20 to 30 feet deep, I would say. And everybody, about all 30 people in his audience, slowly start jumping down there. Now, some of them are getting impaled because there were horns down there. She unties the goats. As they start walking away, she kicks a dagger in there.
Death to all of them.
So then we are seeing about 5 minutes of these people fighting to claw their way out. They're fighting the ring. They're stabbing each other. Their punches are flying and they're going at it. So once one person has it, they don't have it for long because they're getting stabbed to death and they're just fighting. Then those 3 minutes are up. Where that throne was, I told you, something starts happening. The lawyer packs up his little book and says, I'm gone. I know this is about to get messy. Slowly, everyone there explodes because the key was if no one's wearing the ring, Mr. LaBelle will be very upset. They all explode except for Mr. England, the one who signed his rights away to his wife. That lasted for 30 seconds. He also explodes. The movie's over because the girls walking out of the property and they're, I guess, walking to a better life, you know? But I can't help but think, girl, you're still under investigation. You were being arrested. You now have 2 instances of rich people dying in horrific ways around you. And they already knew you did the first one. And now this is a second one. I think the only saving grace is she was, or still is, part of the council since she survived. So she'll have good lawyers and she'll probably control the court system and the judges and all that stuff just because they respect her for surviving. I don't know, because everyone's also dead. So I don't know who would have that authority. Now, did I like this? Again, walking out of the theater, I was a fan. I was a fan because I do like good horror movie. I was a fan. Seeing it on my streaming service, this is the thing. Was it worth paying $40 for? I don't know, because it's the exact type movie you were expecting. Nothing in this movie was a surprise. Nothing in this movie caught me like, oh, that was a cool way to do that, or oh, I've never seen it like that. It was all exactly what you would expect. I don't think it was worth $40. But I also, that's on me because I should have saw that it was coming to streaming. I don't know. I can't decide. Let me know in the comments below. Have you seen it? Which platform did you watch it on? I do think it was nice on the big screen. But also, it's free in my house. I don't know.